New era, new tools. We've talked a lot at Thomson Reuters about how our customers are changing. Mobile working is becoming a reality, computers and mobile phones are blurring, and professionals want beautiful simplicity in the products they use. Laura is a senior portfolio manager, but she's like many of the other professionals we serve, very mobile, time poor, overloaded with information. Laura starts her day like many of us, checking in on any overnight crises and what she needs to know for the day ahead. She works with a team she hardly ever sees, and her job is more about managing relationships than managing numbers. Think of this as a dashboard or a control panel for Laura's day. She'll keep coming back to it during the day to check where she should be, keep an eye on email, catch up on news, and monitor her portfolio. Today, Laura has an early morning meeting with her team, which she'll do from the airport lounge. Then she's jumping on a flight to the West Coast for a client dinner meeting. Laura skims the news. She stars the favourites to mark them for reading later, then continues to flip through the latest headlines, starring a few other articles. Laura's pretty interested in the healthcare sector right now, and since Scott Brown won the Massachusetts Senate seat last night, she's busy thinking through what the impact for her holdings might be. Laura goes back to her dashboard to see how Brown's election has affected the healthcare sector of her portfolio. She clicks on her portfolio and reviews its performance against the benchmark. Alerts in both Aetna and healthcare catch her attention. But it's hard to pinpoint what's driving the changes, so she looks at the same data in a different view and gets an instant visual of how individual companies in her portfolio are doing. Now, Laura knows that news sentiment and news velocity can be a lead indicator of how a stock might move, so she checks the news view of her portfolio next. And with Thomson Reuters, Laura can see instantly who are the potential movers from the inevitable healthcare policy concessions if news sentiment is a proxy. Once Laura arrives at the airport and makes it through security, she's alerted that her team meeting is underway. One of her team members, Kathy, is reviewing a screen on healthcare companies. Now, Laura has a new hypothesis based on what she read this morning, so she takes editing control within the screening app. She changes the margin on Healthcare Corp and models the update for everyone on the call to see. Together, they can drill into the specific company information on Healthcare Corp and talk about whether the model's assumptions really hold. Today, they decide it does, so the files are saved and the analyst team back at the office gets to work preparing more for Laura to review later. On the plane, Laura has the time she needs to start her reading. She has a lot of it, from many sources, so this mobile briefcase helps her manage the overload. She follows a thread from a Pfizer article she started earlier in the day. Context is really key for her, so understanding the why and the what might happen next is critical. The touchscreen is more than a reader, though. It allows her to highlight key insights from what she's reading and make notes to share with others. Laura's news is multimedia, of course, and this particular video is from Reuters Insider. Laura taps the transcript to jump to the specific place in the video that interests her. Next, she taps into the analyst research, and Laura quickly flips through the catalogue of reports, scanning for the latest from her favourite analysts and checking out the StarMine ratings. Feeling caught up and on top of today's news, Laura gets an update on the status of her trip. In her hotel room, Laura's shifting gears now to prepare for dinner. She hasn't met this contact, John Smith, but she knows that he has relationships with others in the firm. She starts by checking his internal connections using the ContactNet application. One of her peers, Michael Owens, has had a lot of recent contact with John, and he's currently online. She chats with Owen, who gives her a bit of background on John, as well as some useful conversation starters. At the dinner, Laura and John quickly move on to the subject of politics and what Scott Brown's election will mean for Obama's healthcare bill. Laura shows John the analysis her team did this morning on her iPad. He's impressed and he wants to share Laura's point of view with his own team. Laura ports her report into her marketing template and bumps it to his iPhone. This demonstration is a hypothetical product for now. Apple's iPad doesn't yet have a killer app, but we can create it.